And welcome to the first match of the weekend in the Women's Supa-Liga. We've got what should be an entertaining game on our hands between the Western Devils and the Andinas. Last time these two sides met, the Devils were victorious 2-1 thanks to a late goal from Andrea Preiato, but they're a little bit undermanned today. Preiato being one of the players who isn't featuring. However, they've got the likes of Waltman, Nellie Clayton, B1 and Lauren Baker in the side. So still plenty of talent. As for the Andinas, they're coming back off their 6-5 defeat to the Northern Hawks, a game they got very unlucky to not get something out of. Elena Di Bonaventura leads the line with Gina Jimenez, Amanda Latana, Christianini in goal. As we're about to get underway here, it's Di Bonaventura, gives it to Jimenez. Di Bonaventura once again looks for Amanda Latana over the top. He toes it onto Rachel Wilson. Waltman, Baker. Back to Waltman. And looking for the ball to Nellie Clayton, but it was a poor pass, really. It's into touch. And the Andinas with the ball at the back. In the centre. Baker picks it up. Back to one. Clayton looking for the ball over the top. One might be in behind here. With a clearance away from Christianini. And the ball looking for the back post. Waltman's picked it up, centre court. Trying to manufacture a shot on the left. Can't quite do so. Well marshalled by the Andinas defenders. Baker threads it through the centre. But that one just going out for a side ball for the Andinas. It's Gina Jimenez to take it. In fact, it was Diaz to take it. Now it's Gina Jimenez on the ball. Back to Diaz. Jimenez once again looking forward for Latana's run. Clayton, ball in the centre. One. Miscontrolled. And the Andinas will get it back. Di Bonaventura looking across the court, but can't pick out anybody in particular. It's Lauren Baker on the near side of the court, demanding the required distance from the Andinas players. One on the ball, finds Waltman in the corner. Now here's a chance for Western Devils. And Laura Waltman's shot flashes wide. Christianini to restart play for the Andinas. Here's Latana, heavy touch, chose it forward into Waltman's path. Waltman with Jimenez to beat, Diaz to beat rather. And she does so, but still going Waltman. Jimenez gets the toe in, and now Amanda Latana's on the break up the other end for the Andinas. Latana with a chance! Rachel Wilson spills it, still going Latana. Di Bonaventura at the top of the D. Ball cleared away. Clayton skips the challenge from Diaz, but loses control of the ball in the end. Christianini will get it back for the Andinas. Diaz in the centre. Di Bonaventura to Jimenez, who scoops it over the top. Now Luana Asenso's on for the Andinas. Off the right by Jimenez. Shot blocked. Now here's Nellie Clayton for the Western Devils. All the way back to Waltman. First time ball back out to Clayton, who evades the challenge from Di Bonaventura before playing it forward. Waltman still going Laura Waltman. Can she keep it in? Not quite on this occasion. It's Luana Asenso. She's been in good form recently. Featured in the Team of the Week last round. And She just about keeps it in, but can only toe that one into the path of Wilson. A comfortable save. Now here's Lauren Baker. And Clayton rides the challenge from Asenzo. Still going, Clayton. But the ball forward wasn't a good one. Christianini restarts play quickly. As the number 11 on now for the Andinas. Ball skipped over the top, a chance. And that one marginally wide. It was Jessica Mitchell who had the chance. Just couldn't get beyond Rachel Wilson. And now a sub for the Western Devils. The number 31, Carissa Rydon, former Phoenix Futsal WA player. Held up by Clayton in the centre, who turns well. Has a Senso to beat. Ops back for Waltman. Back to Clayton, keeping the ball nicely at the back, these two. Waltman looks forward, hesitates. Back rolls it to Clayton, who tries to play it down the line. Nellie Clayton on the far side, looking for the ball direct to the feet all right. It's got there in the end. However, well marshalled by Gina Jimenez. And the ball in the centre, laid off for Waltman. Here's a chance for the Devils. Waltman can't get her footing right. Clayton. Carissa Wright, great ball across the field. Waltman looking for the back post, and there's the opener for the Western Devils. It was Laura Waltman finding B1 at the back post. And the early goal on the board. And the Devils have looked threatening going forward, and they've made the Andinas pay. Will Mitchell rue her missed opportunity? Had a chance to make it 1-0 up the other end, but the Andinas are punished. Here's a chance for Mitchell. Tries to get beyond Waltman. Waltman with the steal. And the break forward. Finds Clayton. Clayton trying to get beyond Oyazan. Can't quite do so. And laid off the line to Waltman. Back to Clayton, keeping the ball in a tight corridor. Rebounds back out to Waltman, who goes all the way back to the goalkeeper. Wilson only got 4 seconds, disposes of it just in time. And B1's ball to Carissa Wright wasn't good. And the referee's talking about something. Not quite sure what, but China Campus having some stern words with Jonathan Silas. The clock has stopped, but looks like a yellow card is coming out for Christianini. I'm not sure why. It's gone back in the referee's pocket, but it has been issued. And really, I think it was for not having shin pads on. So, a yellow card to the Andinas goalkeeper. And play about to get underway. It's Jessica Mitchell on the near side with the kick in. Oyazan back to Mitchell. Bursts forward. The rebound's found to Senzo, who cuts inside past Clayton. Oyazan down the line. The intensity seems to have lifted since that stoppage. And the ball forward from deep on Ventura. Headed away by Waltman. But she can't clear her lines. However, she skips the challenge. Tries to thread it through to right. But now a chance for deep on Ventura up the other end. Tipped away by Rachel Wilson. It was a smart save. But the Andinas aren't clear. Oh, sorry, the Devils aren't clear. Now they win it back. Back roll to Laura Waltman, who's cuffed it up at the back. Does well to make up for it. And Wright gives it away deep in the Andinas offensive half. And the Andinas have a corner. So a quick momentum switch. Deep on Ventura. Saved by Wilson. Wright allowing that one to trickle, but to no avail. It was going out for an Andinas side ball anyway. She may have cleared it. There's Amanda Latana back on. And a shot coming in there from Asenzo, who we know can hit them. Here she is again, Luana Asenzo. Latana fires off the right. Deflection. Rachel Wilson still saves it. Waltman given away to Latana. Another chance coming in. Nellie Clayton, can she settle it down for the Devils? They're under the pump here. Does Voda ride the challenge. Out to B1. One ball through the centre. Chris's right touch was bad. Carissa Wright's touch was bad. And it just trickles out. Oyazan lofted forward, but given away. And the Devils are going to get it back here. Nellie Clayton. B1's run's a good one. And it's gone to her in the end. One on the turn. She did well to get that close. Christianini releases quickly. Latana on the attack. Still going Latana. It's been flicked on by Mitchell. But Waltman defended gallantly and then saw the ball through to Rachel Wilson. Clayton one-on-one through the legs. But Oyazan gets in front of Carissa Wright. Now another chance coming in hot and heavy. Latana can't get a shot off on this occasion, but it's gone behind for Rachel Wilson's ball. The Andinas looking good after going down a goal. They've had some chances. First v last, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a blowout by any means. And given away there by the Devils. Sideline ball for the Andinas. It's Dietz. Oyazan skips the challenge from one. Can't get beyond Baker. Dietz to Oyazan. Ball forward, looking for Jimenez's run. It's been picked up on the halfway line by Clayton. And an unconvincing block. The chance is still alive if they can win it up high. But the Andinas put it into touch eventually. It's Laura Waltman now for the Devils. Across to Lauren Baker. Back to Waltman. Out wide to Clayton, who looks for the return. Waltman still going. And a corner to come. Clayton wants to take it. She knows Waltman will be the better of the two to strike. Waltman makes a little bit of a meal of it. But they've got the side ball back in the end. Not the worst result. Waltman, will she go a little bit more direct to goal this time? Clayton looking for the back post in B1. Oyazan. And now it's Gina Jimenez. Flicks it over the top into the run of Latana. Wilson off her line. That's given away. Will Clayton get there? No. Jimenez eyeing up his shot. Dietz still going. And a corner to come for the Andinas. Oyazan on the ball. Latana at the back post. Flick forward looking for Latana. But headed clear by the goal scorer B1. Jimenez. Ball down the line. Latana. Can she turn? She does. But scuffs her toe poke. It was a good chance. And a timeout for the Western Devils. Probably a good call, I think. They were almost finding themselves on the back foot, and it's not to be expected aside of that quality, but they are down a couple of players, the likes of Kim McCartney, April Nosson, Andrea Preiato, even the first choice keeper and Becky Musial all the way today. So it's just going to be about getting the job done, getting the 3 points in the bag. It doesn't have to be pretty, doesn't necessarily have to be convincing, but at this rate, the Andinas are very much in the game. They're a much improved side this season. Luana Asenso has fitted in well, so has Elena D. Bonaventura, both pushing up from the Supa-Liga B side, and the league is probably the most competitive it's ever been from top to bottom. You can't really pick a bad team. It's hard to tell who the best is either. The Devils at the moment are top of the table and clear a couple of points, but they've had very few easy games thus far. The last one against the Andinas only being decided by a late Andrea Preiato goal inside, I'd say, the last 2 minutes. And she's not here today, so the likes of Clayton and Waltman, who have stepped up this season, will be heavily relied on. Laura Waltman, the pick of the bunch last week, scoring 2 fantastic finishes against the West Coast Cobras and what really single-handedly got them over the line, but she hasn't been able to hit the jackpot yet. Wilson to Clayton, driving through the centre. Lovely work from Nellie Clayton. Still going Clayton, and what a goal that would have been. But a save of the highest order from Christianini to deny. And that's what Nellie Clayton can do. She can just turn it on at the drop of her hat, drive through the centre and crack shots from any square metre on the court. I was going to say any tile of the court, but that's an old reference from the old Bibra Lake Centre. We don't quite have tiles here. It's Luana Asenzo back on for the Andinas. Still going Asenzo, still going. Gets on the outside of Lauren Baker and tries to square it to Jimenez at the top of the D. Couldn't bring back the ball far enough. Clayton driving forward. Got a couple to beat. And does. Waltman's in space. Back rolls it for Clayton, who picks it up. And Clayton trying to manufacture some kind of shot. All the way back to 1 now. Clayton again. Down the line to Waltman. Goes for the back heel through the legs. Baker picks it up centre court. That one wasn't far away from the Devils, number 14, who's been out with injury as of late. So good to see her back as a substitution made for the Andinas. Jessica Mitchell back on the court. It was Tanya Oyazun to the bench. To Bonaventura. To Asenzo. Asenzo forward ball. But now it's spilled out to one. One didn't look where she passed and just really kicked it. So it's turned over the other way. Mitchell. Asenzo. Back to Mitchell. Looking for the return ball to Asenzo, who's running out of real estate but pulls it back at the last second. That one's off Clayton. And the Devils get the call. Lauren Baker back off. Carissa right on. And Clayton lofts it forward, looking for a rights run. Deep Bonaventura does well to intercept. Skips beyond Waltman. And now she's got a couple of defenders to beat. Try to go through the legs of one there. Ball out to Waltman. Over the top looking for right, but she won't get there. Christianini distributes it to Asenzo. Asenzo's ball looking for the centre, but it's given away. Right. Can she return to Waltman? Lovely feet. Now out to B1. Can she double her lead? De Bonaventura clearing it as far as Clayton. Gets beyond one. Gets beyond the second. Out wide to Waltman. Returns it to Clayton. But it's a toe in there from Gina Jimenez. And the ball's behind for a corner. Waltman can hit them. Centre of the D, looking for Carissa Wright, but it's picked up by Christianini. One tries to intercept it. And a side ball going the way of the Devils. It's Laura Waltman. Given away a bit cheaply, especially by her standards. Christianini. Short ball out. De Bonaventura. Looking over the top for Asenzo. The ball's not a bad one, but Waltman makes sure she's not getting there. Rachel Wilson drops it at the feet of Waltman. That's a better ball, but Wright just wasn't on her toes. Christianini. Jimenez. Scooped over the top. Mitchell flicks it on with the header. Wilson. Clayton. And her ball looking for B1. As we see Amanda Latana back on the court. She gives you goals, Amanda Latana, top scorer a couple of seasons back. If anyone can get Andinas on the board before halftime, it's going to be her. Wilson. Now Laura Waltman, back to Clayton. The two names you hear combining so often. And found it out to Waltman. Lovely back heel to Clayton. A chance, but a great save by Christianini. The ball hasn't been cleared, but Carissa Rice passed to Waltman. Couldn't find it. Jimenez, lofted center. Out to Latana. Latana loses out to right. Right lays it off. Clayton strikes it off the right. Christianini looks long, but not long enough. Here's Waltman. Right. Picked up by Waltman. Looking for the through ball to right, just hitting the back of her thigh. Headed down by Clayton. Asenzo's ball finding Latana. Latana with Clayton to beat. But a very good piece of defensive acumen by Nellie Clayton, who forced it out of play. Wilson to Waltman. Clayton trying to find right. B1 center field. Loses out. Now Mitchell. The 1-2. Cut out by Waltman. Flicks it to Clayton. Heavy touch. Waltman makes up for the poor pass. Still going Laura Waltman. They've got a 2-on-1. But Asenso's coming down the other end. Latana. Mitchell's got to go to the back post. Parried by Wilson. Clayton there to clean up the danger. And the Devils will get it back. Play forward to the right of right. Here's Lauren Baker. Waltman. Clayton. Through the center. Given away. Deep on a Ventura. One back by Baker. Waltman. Back to Baker. The Devils combining well. Can they get another one on the board before halftime? And the left-footed ball from Clayton looking for the target. Waltman. Back to Clayton. Fake shot. Out wide now to Baker. Baker through the legs, but not coming out on top against Deep Bonaventura. Deep Bonaventura using her body well, but now she's in trouble. Carissa Wright almost picks her pocket. She's still held onto it, but gives it away. Deep in her defensive half, however, the touchline was too close for Wright to keep it in. Christianini. Diaz. Now Deep Bonaventura. Lofted forward. Clayton heads that one behind for a corner. Wilson doing her best to keep it in. And with 47 seconds left on the clock, will we see another goal before halftime? Latana. Weak shot. Baker. Back rolls it. Clayton. Over the top ball. Through to Christianini. Deep Bonaventura. Latana. Ball down the line. Waltman's won it. Now a chance for Waltman. Skips beyond Diaz. Centers it. Open goal if they can find it. But the Devils can't capitalize. Diaz. Deep Bonaventura. Back to Diaz. Deep Bonaventura. Maybe one last chance. Waltman will have the final say. And an entertaining first half. The B1 goal currently separating the two sides, but I think the Devils will come into halftime feeling a little displeased. I have seen them beat the Andinas quite heavily in seasons past. However, they are without a couple of their stars, and the Andinas are definitely up for the challenge, so it looks like we're going to have a close second half encounter on our hands. For me, Laura Waltman and Nellie Clayton have been the two standouts for the Western Devils. They've been the two funnels that everything has gone through for them. Contrary to my point, it was B1 who was the goal scorer, but it was a beautiful ball from Laura Waltman to the back post to basically put it on a plate for the Devils number 9. The Andinas, Di Bonaventura, Amanda Latana and Luana Asenzo have all looked dangerous. They've had a couple of good chances, but Rachel Wilson has been very reliable when called into action. And just touching on the next matches of the evening, this will be all the coverage there is for the women's for tonight, but in the men's Supa-Liga, we will see the Condors take on the Scarborough Sharks at 8:30. That game being live streamed with commentary, and at 9:30 p.m. Bootscarbs FC taking on Longobarda. So plenty more action to follow tonight and some really good contests on our hands. Closely matched sides, games that could go either way. Stars on show. And as we finish talking about that, the women's action is ready to get back underway for the second half. It looks like it'll be Oyazan, Mitchell, Di Bonaventura and Gina, in fact it's Diaz, to take the court for the Andinas, with B1 Penelope Clayton, Laura Waltman and Lauren Baker for the Devils. It'll be a black kickoff, one to take. And we're underway. The whistle goes. Waltman, Clayton. Back to Waltman. Finds Baker. First time ball around the corner. B1 plays it off Oyazon. And it results in a sideline ball. Finds Baker in the centre. Back to one. One fires off the right, and that one wasn't far away. Christianini scrambling across her goal. But fortunately, from an Andina's perspective, it was just wide. Oyazon, Diaz, back to Oyazon, who knows how to dictate the play from the back for the Andinas. I've been impressed with her over the past few weeks. Baker with the breakaway. Maybe it pushes herself out too wide of an angle. Waltman there to clean up the scraps, looking inside. Oyazon clears, but only as far as Baker. Back rows are looking for Waltman. And the last touch is off the Andinas number 11, Jess Mitchell. So Waltman with a chance to fire off the left. Baker opts inside. It's spilled out to Waltman. And what a finish that is from Laura Waltman. The goal you could sense coming. She's been knocking on the door all evening. But what a way to do it in style. Crossbar and in. The Andinas, a little bit of a lapse in concentration and setting up from the set piece. They weren't happy with the call, and I definitely think that was a point, but you still got to set up and make sure you shut the middle. Is what they didn't do. And Waltman, you can't leave her in those kind of situations with a loose ball. She'll pick up the scraps and finish every time. Di Bonaventura up the other end. That one wasn't far away either. Wilson. Long ball. Clayton just about keeps it in, but it's spilt loose to Di Bonaventura. And Waltman doing it up both ends. Clearing the Devils' lines. Di Bonaventura, Mitchell, back to Di Bonaventura. Looking across the face of goal. Here's Mitchell. Diaz, back to Mitchell. Scuffed effort. It's broken loose for Oyazon. But the one-handed save from Rachel Wilson was enough to deny. Mitchell. And just not quite on the same wavelength there. Wilson drops it at the feet of Baker. in the center. Waltman, can she turn? Lays it off first time for one. Deep Bonaventura wins the loose ball. Mitchell can't get beyond Clayton. Waltman use of the body well. Christianini. Deep Bonaventura bringing it forward. Waltman picks it up in the center. One making the forward run. Clayton. She's going to go herself. Once at the back post. Clayton opts to shoot. And that one rocketing off the crossbar. The class from Clayton is second to none. That would have been probably the goal of the week if it had gone in. Christianini saw it late, reacted late. But the woodwork doing the Andinas favours. As Oyazan looking for the 1-2. Given away in the centre. Baker with a break forward. And snaps at it with the toe poke. Diaz. The Devils picking up some momentum. Turning the screws. The ball forward to Asenzo. But great defensive work to double team there from the Devils. Asenzo in the centre. Can't find anyone. And it's Steve Bonaventura who's gone down injured. I'm not sure what happened. I think she might have rolled her ankle when she went to shoot. And a couple of the Devils players just making sure she's okay, which is nice to see. She hobbles up just about and looks like she'll carry on. De Bonaventura, ball forward. But cleared away by Oyazan. And now it's B1 on the near side. Back to Waltman. Clayton tries to flick it onto Carissa Wright. Clayton looking for Wright. It's fallen to her. But just couldn't quite keep it in. Amanda Latana on the ball now for the Andinas. Oyazan. Flicks it forward to Latana. Given away. One's done really well. Can she work it across the face of goal? Clayton! One. All the way back to B1 at the edge of the D. But it wasn't an angle she could score from. The number 9 looking for her second of the evening. Return ball from Jimenez. Cut out. And they'll get it back. The Andinas. Christianini to distribute again. Latana. This is where she's dangerous. Amanda Latana. Blocked by one. Latana off the line. Oyazan, here's a chance. One again with the block, this time with the head. 14 minutes to go in this one. The Devils hold a 2-goal lead as Mitchell makes her way back onto the court. And gets on the ball straight away. Mitchell, Latana, lovely play. Waltman wins it back. And cleared it off Latana. So the Devils will get the kick in. Scoot forward. Headed clear by Jimenez. Picked up by one. Who's on the break? Out wide. Clayton. Back to one. Makes contact with the post rather than the ball there, B1. Just couldn't add the finishing touch, but it was good build-up play. Did well to get the ball out wide and made the right run. So the Devils are really knocking on the door now. They want to extend their lead. They're pushing for goal difference. Latana. Back to Asenzo. Jimenez in the center. Mitchell out wide. Right. Just about keeps it in. But a poor second touch. Basically gifting Andinas a corner. Up the line. Mitchell. Deflection and behind. And another corner going the way of the Andinas. Can they make it count? Asenzo up there to the left of screen, just off screen, Luana Asenzo. I thought she might have been the player they could look for to shoot, but it was a poorly worked set piece in the end. That ball down the line from Clayton. Finding Waltman. Back to Clayton. Linking up nicely. One. And struggles to keep it in. So just forced to toe it forward and behind. Mitchell to Jimenez. Lofted forward. Headed clear by Clayton. Waltman couldn't win the 50-50. If so, she would have been away. One up the other and with another interception. And again, B1. It's the 1% things that she's doing right for the Devils. Jimenez. Mitchell can't get beyond one and wins the side ball. A good result for the Devils. Clayton back to one. Out to Waltman. Clayton. Waltman. Feel like I've said that combination about 1,000 times. One. This time firing in at the near post. Just couldn't find the target. Clayton gets in front of Latana. Still going Clayton. The double team from Mitchell was enough to stop her temporarily. Only as far as Waltman. Right. One. Back to right. Still going right. Looking for the back post. A smart save by Christianini to push it over. And a corner for the Western Devils. Clayton to take. Waltman up the line. Cracks it off the left. But couldn't keep the effort down. Christianini. Short to Jimenez. Dietz plays it off Baker. Jimenez. Dietz is making the long run. Checks inside and receives it. Around the corner pass looking for Mitchell, who somehow kept it in. Still going Jess Mitchell. But well marshaled by Clayton, who did enough to put her off. And Wilson drops it at the feet of Clayton, who gets it started quickly. Right. Could have done better with the layoff there. Waltman was in space. And a sideline ball for the Devils. 9 minutes 43 left on the clock. Clayton back rolls it. Waltman cracks off the left. Blocked by Mitchell. Ball stayed in play. The ball around the corner inside looking for Clayton. It's the right idea. Just slightly wrong with the execution. And Jimenez back to Christianini. Lofted forward. Trying to get it over Nelly Clayton's head. But the 21 is so dominant in the air. Winning the defensive header once again. Deep Bonaventura back on. Long ball forward again. Mitchell comes away the better. Can't get beyond Baker though. Waltman. And the Devils will get it back once again. Clayton. Cleared into touch. Christianini. Short ball finds Dietz. Scooped. Looking for Latana. Baker. Lovely turn from Lauren Baker. It's a 2-on-1 for the Devils. But the final ball wasn't good enough. Deep Bonaventura across the court. Jimenez. Inside but given away. Baker with a toe poke. Well struck, well saved. Dietz. Ball in the center. Mitchell helps it on. Now a chance for Mitchell. Wilson off the line well. Dietz. Deep Bonaventura. Gets around right. And Baker and Clayton, but can't be stopped by Waltman. And now here's a 2 versus the keeper. Right, 3-0. And the Andinas getting caught with no one back. It's been the Laura Waltman show all evening. Scoring goals, assisting goals. And it's Carissa Wright who had probably the simplest job of anyone on the court at the time of asking and just walked it into the empty net. Dietz, Wright. Plays it forward to Clayton. Waltman's making the run and gets on it. Gets beyond Dietz. Lovely feet. But the shot blocked by Oyazan. Dietz out wide. Mitchell. Now a 2-on-1 for the Andinas. But Waltman doing their defensive duties up the other end. Under pressure. Clayton clears. Mitchell. Still going Mitchell. Trying to go to the back post. Wilson releases Baker quickly. Waltman. Happy to slow the play down and just giving away that. De Bonaventura, Oyazan. Out wide, Dietz. Asenzo. Back to Dietz. Returns it to Asenzo. Inside. Oyazan. Out wide now. Deep Bonaventura has Carissa Wright to beat. And does. But right with the late challenge. They'll get the free kick. And they were quite good from set pieces last week. Deep Bonaventura scored one against the Northern Hawks. The question remains as to whether this is too far out. Looks like it will be. Oyazan standing over it with a Leonard. Deep Bonaventura. Asenzo across the other side of the court. Oyazan inside looking for Corinna Dietz, but one back by the Devils. Right to Clayton. Clayton looking to turn Asenzo. Officer Baker instead. And now Waltman. Clayton just can't get there. The Andinas taking it quickly. Asenzo blocked by Clayton. Baker beats Oyazan. Has Clayton to her left and uses it. But Di Bonaventura getting there in time. And a timeout for the Western Devils with 5 minutes on the clock. So it looks like they may have just done enough. The second half goals from Laura Waltman and Carissa Wright have probably taken the wind out of the Andinas' sails. They haven't given up, but 3 goals in 5 minutes is a tough ask, especially against a side of the Devils' quality. Last season's minor premiers got a little bit unlucky in the finals, but they've been Supa-Liga champions on multiple occasions in seasons past. A very experienced outfit. These players know how to see out games better than anyone. And I think Laura Waltman has definitely been the pick of the bunch today. She's been everywhere on the court, getting up and down like a yo-yo defensively and offensively. 1 goal and 2 assists. Clayton as well has also been very lively. Quite unlucky to not find herself amongst the goal contributions, but a lot can happen in 5 minutes, and you wouldn't be surprised if she does. And both teams breaking from their huddle. It's one Clayton, Waltman, and Baker for the Devils. De Bonaventura, Oyazan, Asenzo, and Jimenez for the Andinas. 1 up the line. Clayton returns it to 1. And Oyazan gets the throw in there. They'll have another corner. Waltman, we know she can strike him off the left. Just misses the ball, but it's spilled out. And Clayton, as we were saying, she was due a goal. Very nearly there. Baker just taking her time to fetch the ball. Waltman checks up the line. Clayton in the center. One. Here's a chance. But just striking her effort wide there, B1. The ball hasn't been kind to us in scoring. The first goal of the match, she's had a couple of chances, but just quite hasn't been able to find a second. Clayton, lovely turn. One, ricochets off the knee. Asenso. Ball across, deep Bonaventura. The diagonal run of Asenso. He had more time than she probably realised. Luana Asenso could have taken it a couple of metres closer to goal. Clayton returns it to Waltman. On the break now, Laura Waltman circles back. One. Loses out to deep Bonaventura. Cut out by Clayton. Deep Bonaventura. Back roll. Oyazan. Asenso. She wants to line one up. And that one looked venomous if it wasn't for the block and Ellie Clayton. In the centre. Looking for Oyazan. Waltman's on the break. Three Andinas around her. And deep Bonaventura's won it back. Strikes it with the toe poke. And they've got the sideline ball. As well saved by Rachel Wilson, who you can see really wants to keep this clean sheet intact. Oyazan, deep Bonaventura, and blocked in again at the near post this time. A B1, the overlapping run of Clayton. She's been found. Scoops it over the top, looking for one. And the pass just too tall for the Devils number 9 to head down. Oyazan, Asenso, inside. Deep Bonaventura. Finds Jimenez. Back to deep Bonaventura. Oyazan. Can the Devils score a goal? They've been deserving of one, you have to say. Asenso. And Rachel Wilson will get it back for the Western Devils. A long throw. And a push in the back there by Tanya Oyazan on Laura Waltman. So a minute 50 left on the clock. The clock is stopped. We're into stop clock territory. It's Amanda Latana on for the Andinas. Nellie Clayton strikes from range. And it was on target, but a comfortable save in the end for Christianini. Right. Fires from distance, didn't catch it very well. Christianini. Oyazan. Lofted forward. Looking over the top for Latana. Jimenez. Ball at the feet of Waltman. Clayton trying to spin around Oyazan. And down the line, Carissa Wright. Weak shot in at the near post. Latana has Waltman to beat. But the number 5 who plays as a centre back for Fremantle City in the WMPL, showing us a bit of our class defensively. And puts it behind for a corner. The resulting corner sees Amanda Latana's shot flash wide. Wilson to Clayton. One. Heavy touch finds Waltman, who looks forward for Clayton. But the Devils, number 21, just can't keep it in. Jessica Mitchell on now for the Andinos. Asenso. One. Latana trying to power her way through the legs of Waltman. But Latana's shot saved by Wilson. And that could have been 4 seconds. Surprised it wasn't called. Latana. Still going Latana. Still going Latana. Saved with the right hand by Wilson. She's done well. Mitchell And as this game just about comes to a close, it will be the Devils who are victorious this evening. The goals from B1, Laura Waltman and Carissa Wright being the difference, unless Latana can pull one back. Rachel Wilson having something to say about that as she punts it forward. And Carissa Wright giving away the foul for the push on Asenzo. But it's not going to matter for the Devils' sake. They've got the lead. They've got 17 seconds to see out. Asenzo just bombs it forward. One gets a little toe on it, and it's behind for a corner. And I think it will be another corner to follow for the Andinas. Not long left now. Latana out to Asenzo. Tries to skip beyond one and work one to the back post, but Clayton has something to say about it, and she'll just try and run seconds off the clock. As the final whistle goes, the Western Devils defeat the Andinas 3-0. B1 scorer of the first half goal for the Western Devils, Waltman and Carissa Wright. A goal each in the second half, and that was enough for all 3 points. And we'll just touch on the action of the next match. It's the Condors taking on the Scarborough Sharks in what should be an exhilarating contest. Make sure you stick around as we put the full-time statistics on the screen.